should you have a strong social media presence if you're B2B? Should you implement a social media strategy if you're B2B? Well, to answer that question, I got some statistics here that supports what I've observed because the fact is, you can see quite a few B2B companies and experts and influencers today that started small just 5 6 years 7 years ago that are now very wealthy and doing very well because they they went into social media. But let's see why that is. Why is social media so powerful for B2B and why it is an essential? It's essential that you have a social media presence if you're B2B. So let's look at this. These stats, by the way, comes from World Business Research. Their website is wbresearch.com. And this is what they come out with. 9 out of 10 B2B buyer say online content has moderate to major effect on purchasing decisions. That makes sense, right? And that makes sense because a lot of the people that will do the research on you or before hiring you, they're employees or they're vice presidents, which is another employee, and obviously they don't want to make a mistake. They want to make sure that they don't piss off their boss or they don't mess up a project because they didn't do their due diligence, and so they'll make sure that they'll even go they'll do more research than even a consumer would to make sure they're hiring the right person. If it is the CEO, like the big boss, he's still going to do a lot of research, as we're going to see in our stats here, because if he makes a mistake, it could cost him his company. It could cost him or have him. He might have to lay off a bunch of people because his business shrunk at that point or he lost so much business, and so he has to be very careful with the decisions he makes. So that's why on B2B they will do even more research to ensure they're hiring the right person. So 9 out of 10, according to the World Business Research, B2B buyers say that online content has moderate to major effect on purchasing decisions. The other stats is B2B buyers are on average 50% to 70% through their research journey before contacting a salesperson. So before they even contact you, they want to research a bunch of research you, and they've already looked at competitors. They looked at the content of a competitor. They look at your content if you have. If you don't, you're behind. And they're like 50 to 70% through their research before they're ready to now speak to a salesperson. Okay, that's why also it's important to create content not just for the person who is ready to buy now, but also create content for people who are at the beginning of their journey, the research journey. So you have to map out what kind of research, what is their journey, and start creating content for each step of the research journey. That way you can have your first point of contact with them early on in the research, and you can grab their attention early on in their research. The third statistic is 67% of buyers' research journey is now done digitally. That means that they will do the research before the internet. They will do the research differently. Today, 67% of their research is done online. So you definitely need to be online, and you need to have your content online on your website. You need to have your content on social media as well, and different kinds of content. Like for example, in our case, like me, I have compiled a 15 types of content kind of checklist that builds credibility, that builds confidence. Because at the end of the day, people will hire you as a B2B or buy from you only once they feel confident that you'll deliver the results and you'll deliver the benefits they're seeking. So it's all about confidence. Once they have the confidence that you're the right choice, they'll take action. So to do that, you have to have different types of content that will build that confidence. And so that's why I compiled my 15 types of content checklist, so that when I work for either my company, when I promote my own company, or when I promote a client, I make sure that there's enough different types of content to build that confidence, so they attract more clients. Now, the last statistics I want to share with you is 84% of CEOs, okay, that's an important stat, 84% of CEOs and VPs use social media to make purchase decisions. Okay, 84% of CEO and VPs use social media to make purchase decisions. That's an important stat. They're going to check, even if the junior doesn't check your social media platform, once they tell the CEO, once they tell their boss who they think they should hire, they'll check, 84% will check your social media platform. The CEOs and the VPs will go into your social media platform and check your content there. That's important to understand. And that is why people who do B2B and have a strong social media presence will grow faster than those who don't have a social media presence.